Hi, water cooler fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at the Ocypus Sigma L36 Pro WH. Yes, you guessed it right. The WH means white. And I've already shown you the specs from the back. Unfortunately, one of the things that is missing from this is the warranty. So when you go to the website for Ocypus, they give you the warranty for some of their other lines of water coolers, but not the Sigma line. So I can't say what the warranty will be because one line is 3 years, the other line is 5 years. And the manual doesn't say anything either, and the box doesn't say anything either. It's all vague, so it's irritating. The other thing that is kind of frustrating is the only LEDs are on the block, and there's no indication as to which motherboards the ARGB is compatible with. So that said, we'll take a look at the product. It comes packaged in this cardboard tray, which I'm not really fond of because these cardboard trays, if they're beat up enough, they just don't stand up to it. And it comes with some packing foam as well. Also, better than nothing, but not great. I'm going to say that. The mounting kit, it has lots of stuff in it, including the cables. It's got some kind of thermal paste, but if there is a name on there, I don't see it, and I don't think there is. This is compatible with LGA for Intel. It's compatible with 1150X, 1200, 1700, and 1851. For AMD, it's only compatible with AM4 and 5. So if you've got something older, you're SOL unless you can find a way to make it work. It does have some interesting looking... Oh, I see what it is. The Velcro straps that are in here have Ocypus written on them, and that O is kind of a big odd looking O. So that's that. It's again, this is just a preview of the product. I'm not actually reviewing the whole product. I just wanted to show it to you. I got really lucky. I almost got another cooler, but by the time I saw it on my donor site, somebody else had snapped it up. It was I think it was PC Cooler or GS Cooler. I forget which one. Now, as far as the product itself, we have a rather long radiator, and there is some protective foam because the cables come out the side here. They were thoughtful enough to protect those cables sticking out there. And it must be imagination. And that's the fans. And so you can see there's a little gold ring in the middle of the hub there. And then also I wanted to show you that there is a refill port right there. So that's always nice to have. It means that you can potentially make this thing last longer. This is the water block. So if you are tight on space for where you have to mount this, you don't have to use the screen. I mean, it's kind of silly to buy it with a screen if you're not going to use it, but if it turns out that way, the screen is held in place with those 4 black neodymium magnets, and you can mount the screen in any of the 4 ways that are possible. The tubes do rotate on the water block, and I think this is one of the thinnest water blocks I've seen so far. Now, when I said the LEDs on the water block, I was really referring to on the screen. They are shown here on the sides. And this is the screen. As you can see, there is this kind of like handle here. I don't know if that's just for effect or if it's also there to stabilize the screen. I would imagine it might stabilize the screen, but I'm not sure. You can see the neodymium magnets inside there. And the cables are, let's see, we've got a special USB cable here for the screen, as well as a standard ARGB, and you can daisy chain with it. So that's kind of nice. I'm not really sure how I feel about this bar running across here, but it's 640 by 480. Maybe that's the reason they felt like, well, we don't have anything happening down at the bottom. So, I'm just speculating, obviously. Now, if you want to mount it, like I said, you can mount it in any of the 4 possible positions. So you can mount it like that, like that, or like that. I would love to show you the screen, but it is really a pain in the butt to actually reach my USB port because of what I've got in my computer. So I'm not going to actually show you that. I don't think. I might break my own brain doing that, but I'll try maybe. But I would like to show you what the LEDs look like. Now I've got I know it works with Asus because when I received this, I did verify that it worked. I've been going through lots of struggles lately. I actually have had this for like a couple of months, and it's just because of the struggles that I've had that I haven't shown you this before that. So I apologize about that. But my life has been very, very challenging lately. Well, most of this year, really. Okay. So as you can see, and you'll see even better now, kind of nice. I mean, it's not to everybody's taste, I'm sure, but it does present an interesting view. All right, well, this is what all is showing on the screen right now. Wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be to connect it. Just took a little bit of dexterity, that's all. I'll be frank with you. I don't know if the software is safe. You have to download it from the Ocypus website. And that, always makes me nervous. So I'm going to download it and check it for malware. And if it appears to be free of malware, then I'll come back to this and show you what else it does. But at this point in time, I just can't say if that's going to happen or not. Sorry if that's not acceptable to you guys, but it's hard to do a YouTube channel if your computer is infected. So while we are waiting for that, I thought we would investigate the sounds and the things like that. Now, as far as the pump is concerned, it's supposed to be pretty strong if you were paying attention to the specs at the beginning. But I'm going to turn this on. It uses a 3-pin connector, which makes sense. Now that sounds really, perhaps it sounds loud to you with it next to the microphone, and you can hear air moving through because I've got it upside down. So all of the air is going up the tube, and getting stuck in here. So, but honestly, you won't hear this noise when it's in the case. It's too quiet for that. Let's try turning it over and see if that helps with the air noise. Yep, that's cleared it up. No more air stuck in there. So that's good. Now let's try the fans. And I can tell you right now, when I checked this out, I was really impressed because these fans are, as far as like the power that they provide, and even the not just the static pressure but the airflow, were much better than I had hoped for. And so actually this will, I believe, perform really well on many different kinds of CPUs that it's compatible with. So now I'm gonna plug this in and we'll see what the fans sound like. We'll start at a low speed. Okay, I don't know how well you can hear it, but there's a low hum. Sorry, I accidentally turned it off. Wish I could show it to you. There it is. Okay, so probably won't hear it very well, but there's a low hum right now. And surprisingly, it's not actually that noisy at maximum speed. Now, I'm not saying it's not noisy, but it's less noisy than I would have expected. And in fact, I would say that in most cases, you'll hear it at maximum speed and close to maximum speed. I think most of the time you probably really won't hear it unless you're like one of those people who are really sensitive to noises. But yeah, this is, and the amount of air that I'm feeling coming through here, like I was trying to describe before, is much more than I had expected to feel. Because a lot of times with air coolers, you don't feel a lot of air coming through. And admittedly, more of it seems to come through along the periphery here and here, but still I can feel it all the way. I've only got the one plugged in, obviously, but I'm fairly certain that this is going to do a really good job on cooling your CPU. Ow. I hate it when I do that. I was trying to grab the cable and I wasn't looking at it. There we go. No blood, so that's a plus. Wouldn't be the first time though. Now, so you've heard it and I've described you. I mean, honestly, I think it's a little bit on the expensive side. And the price on Amazon was $170. And so, and again, this is, I got it as a donation, but on Amazon it's $170. So I would expect that you'd be hard pressed to find a lower price in most parts of the world, except for probably China. You can get it cheaper because it's made in China. But I feel like I'm really looking forward to testing this and comparing it to some of the other top AIOs out there, because I really think it's going to give some of them a run for their money. There's a lot that this has to offer. If we look at the specifications, and let me show you that to you while I'm looking at it. Okay, so we can see here that number one, the pump speed, maximum speed is 3,100 RPMs. That's not the fastest pump that I've got, but it's pretty good. The noise level is equal to or less than 30 decibels. It uses 0.4 amps, which is not bad. Ceramic bearing, also not bad. 3-phase, 6-pole motor, that's also good. And it's got a lifespan of, expected lifespan of 100,000 hours. MTBF is, or MTTF means lifespan. And then the fans go up to 2,400 RPMs. If you use the speed control cable, then they only go up to 2,000. And then the airflow is 90 and 77 CFMs respectively. The air pressure is 5.8 and 4.65 millimeters of water respectively. That's, static pressure. And then the noise level is going to be up to 36 decibels without the speed control cable and up to 29 with. It takes up 0.26 amps. So that's actually not too bad either. It's a 4-pin, so the speed can be variable. I already told you about the pump display. And although it tells you it's an ARGB, it doesn't give you any compatibilities. There's none of that here. There's not any of it in the manual. There's not any of it in the overview either. I mean, there's some interesting stuff in here, so I'm going to show it to you. I've got the white, so we'll just switch over to the white. Not that it matters, but just for consistency. And you can always go to ocypus.com and look at it yourself. I mean, that looks really nice in that view. And the edges are bezeled, which, I guess that's good so you don't cut yourself on the glass. Some views that you can choose. Custom ARGB lighting. Inspired by brand new light textures. Ooh. Okay. 3,700 millimeter square copper base. 0.1 millimeter micro channels. That's pretty good. Fluid dynamic bearing fans. And that's basically it. It took about 5 minutes for the file to download. I think that the server they use is a slower server because everything that comes up on the screen takes a few seconds to fill in. So I think that if they'd had a better server, then I would have been done already. And right now I'm running a scan on this product, the software, I mean. Actually, 2 different scans because I want to, okay, one of them said no problem. And the other one is still in process because it had to load it. But I have a much better upload speed to this site that I'm using. So it's currently analyzing it and should be, I don't know how long it's going to take exactly, but I'm hoping nothing. And then we can find out what the screen actually will show us. I'm going to put you on hold while I'm doing that. All right, so I've got the software running and you can see the screen is currently like this. There are different choices for the screen that you can choose from. That one's kind of nice. I like this one better than the previous one. Wow, that's a nice close-up. I wonder what kind of flower that is. Nah, not my style. Interesting. I want that chair. Okay. Obviously, it says 0 degrees Celsius, 0 watts, because I don't have this on the CPU of my computer, and I'm not going to do that right now. Also cute. And you can also make your own text, data, progress, media, color, line chart. Oh, interesting. Let's see, what else can we do with this thing? And here you can have the information for the computer displayed, CPU, RAM, GPU, storage. Nice. And you can have all this. Oh, okay. Let me show you what I'm seeing so that you aren't confused because I'm babbling over here and not showing you what it is that I'm seeing. If you would like to help me and get something out of it by helping me on a one-time basis, you can go to my eBay channel, the PC Expert Amateur, where you can purchase the items that I have on sale there. There are lots of keyboards and mouses and some other items as well. I've got cable organizers with power supplies and a bunch of other stuff, a nice variety of things that I have reviewed in the past and I no longer need, and I need to make space. Plus, I also need the money. So if you want to do that, the information's on the screen.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.